chair of the ISBC 2008 Government Procurement Triad. Welcome to a panel discussion on what small business should know when selling to the federal government. Just to let you know a little about who I am, I've been in government acquisition for nearly 20 years. Started off 5.5 years with the Naval Regional Contracting Center in Washington, just down here in the Washington Navy Yard. Bought a lot of wide variety of goods and services, including a lot of information technology. I then moved to Department of Defense education activity for a little over 7 years. Did a bunch of different procurement analyst policy sorts of things, including a 2-year stint as a small business specialist there too. And then after that, in 2002, I moved to the Department of State, where I'm currently the Electronic Commerce Program Manager in the Office of the Procurement Executive. Please note that I'm here as a volunteer. Any views I express here are strictly my own and not necessarily those of the Department of State. I have to throw that disclaimer for Greg and everything else. Yeah. Okay. All right. Why bother with this subject? It occurred to us that a small startup type launch firm could very easily get confused by the myriad of regulations and structures of some of the agencies involved. This session is meant to give small businesses in the space field a better idea just of where to begin in their quest to get business. At this point, I'd like to introduce our moderator, Dr. Eleanor Chiogioji. Okay. Dr. Chiogioji is a special assistant to the NASA Assistant Administrator for Small Business Programs. She is also program manager in the Office of Small Business Programs. Dr. Chiogioji provides guidance and strategic direction to the agency small business program, developing policies and programs to promote and effectuate the integration of all categories of small business into the competitive base that supports NASA's high technology initiatives. In doing so, she serves as liaison to NASA centers across the country and to NASA's Exploration Systems Mission Directorate and interfaces with other federal agencies and organizations, as well as major trade associations, industry, and academic institutions too. Prior to joining NASA, Dr. Chiogioji was Director, Center for Training Technologies at AT&T Government Solutions Incorporated, GSI, formerly GRC International, which offers information technology and program management services to the Department of Defense and other federal agencies. Please welcome Dr. Chiogioji.
Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon and welcome. We hope to provide you with a wealth of information here. I am, as Dan says, in the headquarters, Washington, D.C. area for NASA, and I just want to tell you a little, just as an overview, a little bit about NASA to help you understand why we have our panelists here and who they represent in NASA. Of course, you know the NASA mission. You know, you've heard us say Moon, Mars, and beyond, and of course, the latest this past week was the soft landing in Mars. That we're going to be probing Mars, trying to find out whether there were any signs of life there. So this is all very interesting. I know that there is another shuttle launch that is scheduled for, I believe, Friday, am I right? Out of Port Canaveral. But I need to tell you, this NASA's organization, we have 4 mission directorates. One is space operations, and then what you see here are the centers that are roughly affiliated with those mission directorates. Space operations, we have the large space centers, Johnson, Marshall, Kennedy, and Stennis. Johnson, of course, in Houston, Marshall in Huntsville, Alabama, Kennedy at Port Canaveral or Cocoa Beach. We say Cocoa Beach because that's more appealing to us because we like the beach. And Stennis in Stennis, Mississippi. We have Aeronautics Research Mission, and the 3 centers affiliated with that are Langley Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, and Dryden Flight Research Center at Edwards Air Force Base in California. And then we have our science mission director, Goddard Space Flight Center, which is just in our backyard here in Greenbelt, Maryland, Ames Research Center in Santa Clara, California, and our JPL, our Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Los Angeles. And then the fourth, our Exploration Systems Mission Director. I say various because all the centers participate in the initiative, the exploration initiatives. To some varying degree, some centers more than others. Some centers are building the next crew exploration vehicles. Some centers are working on the International Space Station. So in varying degrees, we are doing this. Here is the location of our centers. You notice that they do the periphery of the country, but primarily in the southeast here. And this is just to tell you, why am I focusing on the centers? This is what you need to know. Every center has an industry assistance office. If you are small businesses, this is something that you need to keep in mind, and that every industry assistance office or the small business office has its own dedicated small business specialists. Some centers have one, some have more than one. They are going to be your first point of contact whenever you want to find out about business opportunities. Every center engages in outreach activities. Sometimes they, like Kennedy, they will host the center, like the Kennedy Expo. Sometimes they will support other agencies or other groups, and they will be working exhibit tables and disseminating information about whatever is coming down the procurement road. And the important thing is you need to keep in mind that unlike other agencies, NASA is very decentralized. So every center does its own procurement independently of another. And I tell you this because I will get a call at headquarters and they'll say, my company does such and so. How can I do this? Well, headquarters doesn't have any money. Headquarters, we do a lot of the strategic planning and a lot of the policy, et cetera. When headquarters has a need, we go to Goddard, who does it for us. But none of the work, the actual agency work, is done at headquarters. We don't have room in Washington, D.C. to build a shuttle. They're done outside the centers. So the centers, they write the requirements, the program requirements. They solicit, they do the solicitations for the procurements at the center. Sometimes it comes to headquarters if it's big, but it's the centers, and they put up the money. It's the centers that you need to market with your, are you all small? How many of you are small businesses here? Okay, or represent small business, that's good. So this is what you need to keep in mind. So today, these are people who we have gotten. We've gotten the 3 large space operations centers. And this is the order that they're going to be presenting. They're going to tell you about a little bit about their centers. They'll tell you what is coming down the pike or how you can play in it. And they'll have a wealth of information here. Mr. Chuck Williams, or Charles Williams, we're very familiar with him, is from Johnson. He's a small business specialist from Johnson. Ms. Connie Wilcox is a small business specialist, or one of them, at Kennedy. And Mr. David Brock from Marshall. And then after that, we have asked our technical resource people to come up here. Mr. Jack Jones from Johnson will be talking about the NASA, the Innovative Partnerships Program. That houses the R&D efforts and all the non-contractual, not the kind that procurement normally does, all of the very innovative ways that you can be a participant in NASA, in helping NASA achieve its mission. We have Ms. Lynn Garrison from Marshall, and she will be talking about the SBIR and STTR programs. And Ms. Nancy Zeitman, who will also be talking about, she'll be talking about the Constellation program and all the technology needs and requirements for the Constellation program. So I'm going to stop, and I tell you, this is the order that they'll be speaking, so that I don't have to keep on coming up. They will introduce themselves and talk. If you will jot your questions down, and hold them to the end. We will have a question and answer period. The panel will stay here and they'll answer your questions. Anything that you want to know about their centers and how you can market yourselves. So, we'll call Chuck Williams first.